New season, new microphones. Got to break these things in. 1 2 1 2. Testes. Is this thing on?
Yes, it is, and it's working.
All right, we good to go. It's the Capital City Podcast. I'm your main man, Capital J. This is my main man,
DL Glass.
Giving you something to think about while you drive or
wash
cook,
your hair,
or wash your hair, or take a bath, or sit on the stool,
right?
Or pick up the kids.
You just got a few minutes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just give you something to ponder.
Right.
And this week, we're pondering retirement.
Wow.
How do you retire from hip-hop, a career in music? We're mainly going to be looking at how you retire from being up front.
Right.
Not people like us, behind the scenes folks.
Right.
You know, up front people, singers, rappers, even actors and actresses.
Because not everybody can retire.
Right, it's tough. That's one of the things we're going to discuss. It's hard to retire.
Right.
Because this is the type of business where if you're the front man for something, you know, you're all not going to be the Rolling Stones out here performing when you're 80.
Right.
In general, you will get forced into retirement somewhere in your 30s.
Right.
You know, that's what happens for most. And for most, really, it's in your mid-20s. You will be forced into retirement from the career that has brought you the most money, right, of anything else that you'll probably do in life. And that's early. Oh, that's over early. And it goes right back to just like an athlete.
Right. So I want to ask the question, who has retired?
Who has truly retired?
Yeah, and yes.
Okay, let
me say this. Because I know you think about it. I don't know if it's just like I do, but I think it's similar. So we both agree that not everybody can retire. Right.
It's like I said, it's hard to retire. And then at what point do you call yourself truly retired? I think a lot of people live in a semi-retired state. You know what I mean?
And
that's somewhere in between. I'm never going to do this again. And I can't do it the way I used to do it. But if you need me, I'll show up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people who made a lot of one-hit wonders, they got to work their day job, but then the state fair come up in an hour, and you want Rob Bass to show up, do It Takes Two, and you got a few grand, you got to put in Rob Bass' pocket. Forget what he's doing right now. He's going to be Rob Bass, and DJ Easy Rock might come out the woodwork for the weekend.
Right.
But they're not going to do this every weekend.
Right.
So I would consider that maybe semi-retired, but they'll probably, that's retired. Retired and semi-retired live in the same place. If you're not producing new stuff, new material,
right,
like going out to old school shows and here and there, that's still retired. If you're not putting out new stuff, trying to get people to buy it,
right. Not a bad place to be if you love what you do, right?
Yeah, it's excellent. That's what we were really gonna make this whole show about that portion of it. Like, dudes still get money doing shows that don't even, you don't have to make new music. You know, you got cats out here that been performing and making a living without having to make new music. You haven't heard anything new from the Sugar Hill Gang. But if the Sugar Hill Gang performs somewhere, guess what? People going to see that.
Right.
You know, so
I guess you can name a few people, but there, just like with anything, there's levels to it, right?
Right.
So that's why I wanted to say.
So like, who's truly retired? Okay, like when I think successful retirement, right, the first person that pops in mind is Chamillionaire. Smart, like he had his career.
Great one.
He did a lot with it.
Right.
Then he took his earnings from his career
and doubled up
and became a businessman. While he is retired from that rap, because I haven't heard anything new from Chamillionaire. He doesn't seem to be promoting a new album or anything like that. No. That doesn't mean he's retired from work.
Yeah, but
looks like he's retired from this part of his career.
But to be fair, he could be still putting out work. It's just is so
we could
different
miss it
now.
We could miss it.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. You know, because it's so much stuff out there now. You know, you got the real core that stick with.
Right. We're gonna call him retired for the sake of argument. That's the best form of retirement, rapper retirement. You know, Jay-Z is kind of retired. You know, from rapping.
Oh yeah,
He
absolutely.
may pop up and do a feature here or there. And if he drops an album, it's just to be doing something. It ain't
Like he don't have to.
right. So Dr. Dre is retired. These
Right.
people retired well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Especially-
And they retired how you're supposed to retire in the traditional sense. You take the money you earn in your career and you live off it until you die. That's a good retirement. We're gonna define it right now.
Okay.
You know?
That's dope.
So
Yeah.
they're retired well. I don't think those three guys should run out of money before they pass.
They shouldn't.
You know?
Yeah. Even if something catastrophic happens, they shouldn't.
Then you have bad retirements. You know, Black Rob had a bad retirement.
Sheesh.
Craig Mack, bad
Well-
retirement. You know?
Can you say that?
Yeah.
Bad on the level of, like when you say bad, because the average person might not think that that's that bad if you still could get booked for something.
Well, I wouldn't say that Craig Mack may not have considered his own position or where he was bad. But I know there were times with Craig Mack where after his career was over, he was contemplating doing something to Puffy. You see what I'm saying? Because he didn't have the money
Right.
he felt he should have after his career was over. You know, his retirement wasn't by choice. He was forced into retirement by circumstance. But in the end of it, he didn't have enough to sustain a life till his death. You know, from what I read, he wasn't necessarily doing that well. And he also gave all his money to a church he had joined.
Right.
And so he didn't have much. But I can't say that he was unhappy with where he was when he passed, because he seemed to be where he wanted to be. But Black Rob
On that
was not. And he let
Right.
you know he wasn't.
Right.
You know, in interviews, he said, I'm not happy with how things are right now. His retirement wasn't good. And that's something to think about if you get into music right now. You know, it's bigger than the 10,000 you make in the club tonight or tomorrow night or whatever you get off streaming sales and whatnot. You got to start thinking about tomorrow. We had a show talking about publishing and stuff like that. That's how you set yourself up for a good retirement. A one-hit wonder can, if you own publishing on one-hit wonder, could mess around and set you up for life in a way different than having a big deal, putting out 4 great albums and not owning anything at the end of it.
Right.
You could end up being better off just owning the masters and everything from a one-hit wonder. One song carry you for the rest of your life.
So you think it's people that performed, and when I say performed, I mean actually recorded music, and they later on in life they're not able to perform that music.
No, definitely. That's part of the thing about retirement. But
Right.
another thing about having a good retirement is thinking about your future and can you perform the music that you're performing today? Can you come back and perform it 30 years from now when your fans have their kids at the state fair and you're a novelty act at the state fair?
Right. Yep.
Are you creating an avenue now
Right.
for a good retirement? That's a good retirement when you can just pick a weekend and go spend 15 minutes on stage singing a song that everybody knows the words to and make you $10,000, $15,000 real quick. You setting yourself up for a good retirement. Can you do that with the content that you're creating right now? Are you setting yourself up for a good retirement? Like, what if Prince had only made music like Erotic City? Even by his own standards, he got to a point where he wouldn't perform that song anymore at his own shows because
Absolutely.
he had grown from that place.
Right. And he didn't want to go back.
Luckily, he had a whole entire catalog of other stuff that he could draw from. And, good artists that have longevity and create good retirement settings for themselves have a wide variety styles and genres they can draw from. You know, you go to one Whitney Houston show before she passed, you know, you may hear one kind of music. You go to another, you hear a whole different set of songs. Michael Jackson.
That's the way you are.
Yeah, you might catch Thriller era at one show and Man in the Mirror era on another. You know, he has a catalog where, you know, he can just do all music from the 70s for 2 hours.
Right.
And then come back tomorrow night and you can have an 80s show.
Or you can have one hit and 30 years from now you can still be performing that one hit.
Right. And the beauty of having one hit and you own it and stuff like, look what's happening today. Like
Sunshine Anderson. Heard it all before.
Right.
I don't know if she owned it, but she performs it like she did.
It's gonna last, you know, it's gonna last.
Right.
It's already withstood the test of time. It's a classic at this point. You know, when you own a classic, I mean, hey.
It's gonna go.
Right.
Right.
And that's another thing. Make sure you own your name. You know what I mean? It's people overlook that too. If you want to have a good retirement, you need to own your name. Or you'll mess around and be retired and watch somebody else performing under your name. Wow. Singing a song that you made famous.
Right.
Because the record label told them they could do it and they could have it. You'd be like, wait a minute. But I'm Sunshine Anderson. Nah, she's Sunshine Anderson now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not saying Sunshine Anderson don't own the name. I just use her as an example. I pulled out of thin air.
It's her real name though, right?
Just
because it's your real name, can you still perform?
I think if it's your real name, I don't think it. You know, you'll notice if you sign away your real name in a way that you might not notice if you're part of a group or like for a long time people thought Debbie Harry was Blondie. Blondie was the name of the group. I don't know who owns the name, but you know, a record label can own the name of a group. Right. And then if you want to take that, you can take all the members you got right now. They just take 4 new guys. And yes. They're New Edition now, whoever. You know, I'm not saying New Edition was under that, but that's the way things can go. Yeah, man, it's tough in retirement. You know what I mean? Right. And if you're not thinking right now, like T-Pain almost burned all his money up. Man, T-Pain retired. Hey, but he could have retired a lot better.
Well, he now because of that, he's making more money in gaming than he's made on music in the past few years.
Set himself up for a good retirement by finding another avenue.
Yep.
And sometimes retirement doesn't always look like becoming a mega success and having millions more dollars made. Sometimes it's just setting yourself up to have a normal life.
Like however you want, yeah.
Roxanne Shante retired, went to school, she's a social worker. Right. But she's still Roxanne Shante. And she can still go out and do her performing or whatever, but she has a job. She doesn't need to do that if she doesn't want to. So, you know, and that's the problem too. You set up for a bad retirement when you have to continuously be the character that you created when you were 17, 18 years old. You know? That's the beauty of a Roxanne Shante or, you know, somebody who goes and is able to find a normal life after fame. Right. And some people can't do it, man. They just cannot go sit in the office. They can't work with regular people. They feel like once they've been to the mountaintop, 9 to 5, that's beneath me, man. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? They feel like an extra failure. If you retire
It's a tough one, right?
Right. It is. It is. And then, you know, folks want to take pictures of you, put on World Star, DMX bagging groceries. Not like DMX, who's bagging groceries. I'm just pulling names out of here. Everybody, like everybody I pulled up.
His views are not my views.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody be out there one day. You're going to have to find something else to do. And with all that in mind, you know, start thinking about where you put them tattoos. You know, all on your face and stuff. And I'm just saying this because I come from an era when I remember looking at old people when their tattoos that they got when they were young, they start getting a little blurry and discolored. You ever seen an old lady with a tattoo on her arm?
Yeah, and they do.
You can't even read it no more.
Right.
Look like it got wet. And that's gonna be on your face one day. You know, I'm just saying.
Right.
Just stuff to think about. So if you ever plan on doing anything other than, you know, than this profession don't mind if you have tattoos on your face and arms and neck and scalp.
Cause ain't nobody gonna judge you.
No, not in music. Music is come as you are, you know what I'm saying? But actually the real world is getting more lenient on that stuff now. Shouldn't be so hard to transition from making a living as an artist to getting into the business world anymore, you know?
Yeah.
The internet bubble changed things back in the day.
Absolutely. Make everything more visible. I think that if somebody can retire from an art, talking about being creative and like you said, Chameleon and Jay-Z's and the Puffs of the world, they few and far between. There's a lot of people who actually make a living off of their art. Mm-hmm. And
Chuck Brown never retired.
Yeah, he just kept going. You think that was because of necessity or love?
You know, kind of makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, why was he playing music? Well, I think it's out of love. He had to, you know, no way he could have been. I'm not going to speculate that old Chuck Brown was working because he had to work. But you never know.
But that's what he signed up for, though, right?
Yeah. He is a true soul man. He never retired. I think the best thing, though, you know, if you want to set yourself up for a nice retirement, start thinking early about how much your lifestyle is going to cost to maintain. And I say that as in, let's say you make a couple $1 million this year. You don't know if you're going to make another couple $1 million. So if you buy a $2 million house and then the wheels fall off and this thing don't go like it used to go, you're not going to be able to afford to keep that $2 million house just because of taxes and electric bill, all that stuff, and keeping the lawn up, keeping the homeowners association off your back. All that stuff is going to cost a lot of money, not to mention whatever kind of car you have is going to need to be fixed eventually, and you'll end up downgrading just so you can keep anything. So pick something out on your way up that you can maintain even if everything falls apart. You can get a nice house and get away from the stress of wherever you grew up without making it unaffordable should your income stop rolling. Think ahead. You got to think ahead, man. I'm trying to retire good one day.
Right. It's good to think about when you choosing to.
Yeah, because you got to think, man, in entertainment, you know, there's no 401k for you. You got to do all of this for yourself.
Right.
No insurance or rappers, you know. So you got to plan for all this stuff. And that's the other thing. When you don't have all that stuff set up, one little, a lot of people that didn't retire well, like take Black Rob, for example. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, you get sick and had to pay hospital bills and you're not able to work for a little while. I found this out as a DJ. I had surgery in 2001. Mm-hmm. And, you get paid when you DJ and you might do it once, twice a week and, get some days off. But, miss 2-3 weekends in a row.
Whole different
It's like missing a whole month of work.
Right.
And you're not getting paid because you don't get sick time.
Right. And
you're still on the hook for all the bills. And something like that will break you if you're not prepared for it. So, you start thinking about, like I said, like Black Rob, he had some health issues. And shoot, man, that'll suck your pockets dry right fast.
If you can't earn, that's the sad
And then
part.
you got to pay a bill.
Right. Absolutely. That performance money does come at a cost.
Yeah. Yeah. Run and DMC seem to retire pretty well. Mm-hmm. They did a pretty good job. Ryan retired and he parlayed that thing into a little TV show for a little bit.
Look who their inspiration was, though.
Hey, Russell.
Come on.
He's gonna make sure you retire well. You know what I'm saying? LL, right. LL retire well. Mm-hmm. Ice-T retire well. Mm-hmm. Parlay their success in the television.
You think that was partly because they were older? Well, a lot of it was because they were older. Of course, you got the exceptions like the Ice Cubes and the younger
Ice
people,
Cube retired well.
Yeah, he was smart with the game.
Kanye, he ain't retired.
Right.
He has, that's why it's hard to talk about the young dudes because a lot of these dudes ain't even semi-retired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, retirement is not a young man's thing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got to go way back.
Yeah, you might think that in your 20s you got enough money to retire. But if you think about if you living your same lifestyle that you living in your 20s when you retire, how long will the money last?
Right.
So
it's dope, though, because, you got teachers and stuff and folks working beside you that had one-hit wonders back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Had hit songs on the radio back in the day. And you sit here like, that was you? This ain't that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm retired from that. Now I teach third grade.
You want to go get this show money?
You know what I'm saying?
I put you up in a room and give you $800. You ain't coming.
You know what I mean? I'll do
it. One song.
Hey man, I'm with it. I wish I had a one hit.
Yes,
one hit back in the day.
Man, you know how many shows you could do?
Man, I'd be outperforming it right now.
That's the part. I'm talking about you still can make money off what your art,
Yep, they'd be like, tonight, for this Division III second round tournament game, the musical guest halftime show is Capital J with the one hit, Shake Your Booty. 1990's number one song, Shake Your Booty.
And somebody going to want to take a picture with it.
Hey.
$800 a show.
But see, that's the thing. When you still doing that, though, instead of sitting here looking like I'm looking, I have my hair implant, so my hair still look like it did in 1990. Absolutely. I have my beard all blacked out, so I look all young again. Be scared to smile so the lines don't show on my face.
Man, $1,600 a month. You perform that song 2 times a month.
You know what I'm saying? Look at Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice look just like he did when he dropped the record. Because he still
he
ain't stopped. If you're right, he don't look the same. But I'm just saying he's still maintaining that same image. He can't let go.
Right.
Like he don't want to retire.
No.
That society retired him before the 90s were over with.
That's funny how
he's not gonna leave it alone. He's gonna be Vanilla Ice forever. He's talking I'm Robert. No. You're Vanilla Ice forever and ever, as long as you got that haircut.
It's funny how their retirement is, or not even retirement, but it's a lot of them. So, they don't, like, if you have a one-hit wonder and you one of them, do you think you get a lot of shows?
I don't know, man. MC Search. I talk to him every now and then, and I would say that let's take third base, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably do about as much as everybody else from that era that was at that level, I wouldn't say that it doesn't appear to be any favoritism leaning towards him that way. And you got to think, it's really not a lot of white rappers that had hits when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things. You
think the Beastie Boys still
third
perform?
base, Beastie Boys, Eminem, and
M don't have to perform.
I mean, who else can you think about?
Beastie Boys don't have to perform. Third base don't have to perform.
Well, that's because he retired well.
I wonder why.
But no, like it's bigger than that. Like, because there were 2 guys in the group. Well, I guess both of them. I remember at one time the other guy in the group was like he had a I know he was into baseball cards or something. You know what I'm saying? He's
White boy
trader. Yeah, and then Search went on to. He was at like the director of A&R over at Wild Pitch. Like, he brought Nas in. So, he found Nas. I remember he told me he took Nas to Russell Simmons. Russell's like, nah, we don't need
Rap
that.
too much.
So, but he found other avenues. Like, when I was on radio, he had a promotion company. So he was promoting records for the labels. So, yeah, he retired well and kept, stayed in the business. There were a few artists, like when I was on the radio, there were a few former artists floating around out there. Like the dude, especially on radio, the dude that sang Jam on It. Jam on it, jam on it. I said jam to the jam on it. Yeah. Cosmo D. He was on the radio in Philly.
Right.
Yep. So Bahamadia was on the radio up there. She retired and kept on going to radio. Right. That's what. Let me see. A few artists. Roxanne Shantae's on radio now. Matter of fact, Sway.
Ludacris did.
Think about this.
Yeah.
Sway and Tech. They like before I knew him as a radio personality, and think about what he is now. This is his version of a good retirement from hip hop. Like I knew him to be a rapper. Sway. Mm-hmm. You see your boy's not rapping no more. Mm-hmm. He's on Shade 45 getting Sway. Right.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. So before Sway was the announcer and all this, right? Like I remember I met him back in like 1993, 94. He was, and I only knew him as a rapper. And he just happened to be coming through promoting some music and stuff.
That's crazy because I didn't pay that much attention to Sway's journey, but every time I saw like he was holding a microphone for like MTV or something, that like interviewing Redman. Or
that's
something.
Him. That's him parlaying his career in music.
Right. See, I didn't know he was a rapper.
Into MTV.
I know he could spit though.
And all of this. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep. And like Tech was a serious DJ. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. With LA man and dudes. They take their hip, like they were some of them true hip hop heads. They took their hip hop very seriously out there. You know what I mean?
Tell.
Yeah.
Just by Sway. Yeah. You can tell.
Yep. And what you're seeing now, even though, he'll retire from this one day too, but this is his good retirement from rap.
Yes.
Yep. And so yeah, he was just another one in radio. Radios and television is a good place. A lot of dudes like Mark Wahlberg, he's a retired rapper, doggone it. You know him as an actor, but I mean, I'm gonna call him a rapper because guess what? When his record came out, Good Vibrations.
He had something going on before the record. What he had going on before the rap, the brief stint, because he didn't even want to be called Marky Mark no more.
Yeah, well, maybe he tried to distance himself from it, but he was a rapper.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And
I didn't know him as nothing else. Like his brother was in New Kids on the Block.
Oh, that was his brother.
That was his brother, Donnie.
Okay.
But this is Lil Bro. Lil Bro was a rapper
when he came out. Okay,
and that's all he did.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? He ain't sing no songs.
Okay.
He didn't do nothing else. He was a rapper.
Right.
And once he retired from his rap career, he had enough foot in the door. Cause he got a lot of favoritism when he was a rapper. That like
all of them.
Like if you think about how long people wear, like rappers been wearing their pants hanging down. He wore his pants hanging down, and he get the Calvin Klein.
And he's a white boy.
He get the Calvin Klein contract,
right?
To be modeling underwear. They're designed to show the underwear name when you wear your pants hanging down.
Right.
They capitalize on the look after Marky Mark did it, but not when Redman was doing it. So.
I would consider him retiring from rap. Retiring from being a rapper, but retiring from rap because his brother
is parlayed into something else. Just like Will Smith parlayed that rap career.
That's different.
I don't know, man.
You know why it's
Wahlberg,
different?
Will Smith. Well, Will Smith was real.
Will
He was
Smith
a real
had
hip
no
hopper.
brother.
But he was a real hip hopper too, though.
Yes.
I mean, like straight up.
Yes.
Like, you can't take nothing away from Will Smith's hip hop roots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's as real as he gets. He's out in the park, turntables, 2 turntables and a mic all day. So, I can't say that Marky Mark did all that. I know I can't speak to Marky Mark, but I can't say that I've ever heard any stories about his prowess on the microphone in the ciphers in the park in Boston. You know what I'm saying? And his brother's one of the new kids.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. So,
right.
Right. Hey, let's not forget the true wordsmiths who use words to retire from, not just words and associations.
Right. I'm trying to think who else is retired. You know what I'm saying? And what are cats doing now? Like, honestly, man, I just want this thing to flow, so I didn't sit here and look up what everybody's doing in their retirement. But I know Scarface he ran for city council.
Right. Irv Gotti just retired.
Oh, really? He just retired. I'm sorry, Dave. We retired him long ago. He's been retired ever since the feds raided them studios. No, he didn't know it.
$300 million for his catalog.
Oh, well, I mean, shoot, he was retired anyway. He held on to his catalog. Now he's officially retired.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
See, that's what you can do when you own your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Beat the feds.
You retire well.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He retired real well.
And that's off a bunch of one-hit wonders. Or a bunch of hit singles.
A bunch of hits.
Of hit singles.
Yeah. He sold his royalties.
Ashanti and Ja Rule, he need to throw them a big old party and really, he should slide both of them a chunk of cash.
But I don't know, because they might own royalties on the same product he owned royalties on. They
might, but if he's able to just sell the catalog outright,
I think
what did he own? Because if he's selling the catalog, who is the catalog worth anything without Ja Rule songs and Ashanti songs? It's not. I would beg to say that it's not worth $300 million if their music is not in it. And if their music is in it, then they don't own it. He owned it.
But I mean, and this is me not understanding, because that's why I'm about to ask this question. So can't all of them have ownership in it? And
they can, but one person can't sell it. If you all own it, then one person can't sell it. You got to all agree to sell it. But he can sell
his portion of it.
Now that is true.
Now Pete
you can do that.
So if he sold his portion for $300 million,
but then the story would be Irv Gotti sells his portion of what's going to. But everybody knows that's his record label. What's the name of it? Murder Inc. So the Murder Inc. catalog, Murder Inc. probably retained the rights to a lot of that stuff. Ja Rule's in high school. He was fresh out of high school. He probably like, yeah, man, I don't need no masters. Give me these $200,000 in that damn Porsche.
Ja Rule lived better than that.
You know what I'm saying?
He lived better than that. He's still
it's no telling.
Performing. You right?
It's no telling. And there's a very real possibility. Then Ashanti, he was screwing her, literally, and figuratively.
And the only reason I say that is because I say that if they gave him $300 million, it may have been worth $1 billion. And if it's worth $1 billion, $300 million to him would be fair for what we know he did. But if it all goes to him, then what would be fair for him to break them off? And I'm talking about.
I don't know if he made $300 million and they happen to sign one of them doodle deals. You know what I'm saying? Where they didn't really get everything that they really deserve. I would say, man, if you get $300 million,
so that
about 10, 15 mil a piece.
Damn.
Like, here's the deal. They don't become Ashanti and Ja Rule without Irv Gotti. And Irv Gotti, Murder Inc. does not become Murder Inc. without them.
10, 15.
And if he made 300, that's not a stretch. I would think of it like this. if he gave them 10% of the money, that's 15 mil a piece.
Okay.
And that's like paying tithes in appreciation. I'm going to give you 10%. It's a tip. I made this money, here goes 10% of it. It's a tip. That's what you would give a manager who is good. And if they got it, and he, like, suppose it was the other way around, and he had done the same thing that he did, like, because they all helped each other.
They still adding value to Murder
Yeah,
Inc.
like I said, he's not where he is without them. It wasn't the rest of the murderers. It was Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? It was Ja Rule and Ashanti. Do you remember anybody else on the label?
Not that made
nobody else is memorable.
not without them.
And your boy who made the music, he did have one hell of a producer too. That should also get another $10 to $15 million for creating the sound that they produce. All this stuff, like, you gotta think about it. When you get, like, the same way Cash Money is not Cash Money if Manny Fresh and Juvenile don't set this thing off right.
Right.
Like, yeah, they got some other talent, but you ain't gonna hear that if you don't hear Juvenile first. And they don't have a sound if Manny Fresh don't produce that sound for them. They just another group out of the South that sound like everybody else. They don't sound like everybody else because they got Manny Fresh. Irv Gotti, Murder Inc. didn't sound like everybody else. So he owes that. They should all retire good. But, you know, they all help contribute to Irv Gotti's legacy.
Right. I mean, because
he's going to retire well.
I hope his evaluation was the $300 million that he sold, but they all got, because I would rather have the percentage on the front end than the back end.
Well, I would give them 10 apiece. I would take 10% of that and split it amongst the people who were really instrumental. You know, and that's who was on the production for them joints.
Because if his worth $300 million, theirs should be worth some money too.
Right, I give them $10 million a piece.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
When I sold the catalog, that's just me, because just trying to be a good person about it. Now, of course, you know how people are. You give 10, everybody be showing up trying to sue you, talking about, well, I deserve 20 or 30, and then you be mad and bitter for even trying to be good.
Because if you give me 10% on $300 million, like, I'll be like, but bro, you wouldn't have. So you gonna give me $15 million on $300 million? Like, I don't know.
Hey, man,
only if I'm a front person, you know, like, and that's just because.
I mean, if you did get a cutoff, you probably weren't gonna get 10%. You know what I'm saying? These deals be for like
that's
2 and 3 and 4%.
Because we gotta think about it. Catalog was
royalties. Who getting 10% of their royalties? Well, at least I know back in the day to get double digits like that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so if he's worth, his royalties is worth $300 million. Like, what is theirs worth? And I don't even think it's. I don't know. I can't say I don't think it's fair, but you know, because like this whole time, it's been gaining value because it won't worth.
Let's say they signed for like 2 or 3%. Then $300 million at 2%, they make about $6 million a piece.
Ja Rule should get more because Ja Rule kept Murder Inc. name alive and strong even when they couldn't make music or nothing else because of who Ja Rule is. That's my point. Like, I don't know, just that would be like because the whole time it's been growing value for it to get to $300 million. And Ja Rule has been more out there for, and I'm talking about a product coming from this. You know, he's been out there more than anybody else.
Well, Ja Rule is retiring bad as of right now.
Really?
The whole Fire Festival fiasco.
Oh, but I don't think they hurt him. I don't think.
I thought he had to pay money.
No, the guy who organized. I don't think Ja Rule.
I thought he was the guy.
No, it was another guy.
I know there was another guy, but I thought that he was just as responsible. Man, I thought Ja Rule was just as responsible for that.
Nah, he came
off. Like that let you know that like it got to be some struggle going on if he's running Coachella scams. You know, we gonna make our own What are we gonna do? Where are we gonna do it? We're gonna do it in the middle of the desert.
Right.
And we're gonna get all these people tickets, and then we're gonna give them sandwiches. What kind of sandwiches? Bread sandwiches.
Right. They dismissed him from the case. I wanted to make sure.
Oh, they let him out of there.
Yeah, but
ooh, that I'm pretty sure he lost some sleep over that.
Oh, hell
Because,
yeah.
you know, when they come after you, man, trying to get restitution for stuff like that.
They're looking at everything.
And pay the people back. Yeah, man, you mess around and lose your house, man. You know, trying to pay the dude that set up the stage.
Right.
You know what I'm
$100
saying?
million lawsuit.
You know what I mean? $100 million. Fraud.
That's a lot. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it probably would have came with some time.
Hey, look, speaking of time, another part of retirement wrong is a lot of people take their earnings and then they try to set up illegal business with it when they get done rapping. Remember the group Tag Team?
Yes.
Boom, there it is.
Boom.
Dude got busted driving he started driving trucks when he retired.
Transporting what?
Big old truck. Oh man, he had a big old truck full of drugs when they call him, man. He had an 18-wheeler load full of drugs. But he's out now but that's the beauty of having a one-hit wonder.
Right.
Having that one hit. He done served his time, got out of jail, and then somebody picked the song up in the Geico commercial.
Oh,
you remember?
Right.
Sprinkles.
And it was his.
Yeah, it is. That was them. That was Tag Team.
I know, but
I don't know if he owned I don't know if he owns the master or not. But guess what? He's in the video and he got paid to be in the commercial. I mean, not in the video, but
commercial.
Right. His boy paid
I remember
to be in the commercial.
Right.
So that's the power of having that one hit. Nobody gets out of jail come to a 6-figure job.
Right.
So he gets out of jail, but he got that one hit waiting, bubbling under the surface, and you never know when somebody's going to latch on to it. You know, look at Salt and Pepper, you ain't heard from in a while, and then all of a sudden Push It goes viral, you know what I mean? And it's back hot again forever.
One of them songs.
One of them songs, you know what I'm saying?
For real. One of them songs.
You been watching Stranger Things?
No, I can't.
Hey, there's a song, you know, basically takes place in the 80s. So
in Durham.
No, they mentioned the area, but they actually.
Oh, but they from here. That's where they film.
Oh yeah, the brothers that created the show are from here.
They film it here.
They film it here.
Yeah, it's in Durham.
Stranger Things,
bruh. I gotta look it up. Let me see.
Let me find out. This dramatic pause for effect.
Right. I just want to see.
You know, we lost all our movie business and TV shows when they were beefing over that daggone bathroom. Yeah, they referenced the show. They referenced Durham a lot.
Yeah, because that's where they're from.
But what I was getting to is there's a song that they've been playing a whole lot now because they use it in the show.
Which one?
It's Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill, I think is the name of it. And man, it's like I hear that song everywhere I go now. So I know that wherever Kate Bush was, one day she probably woke up and was like, why is my songs getting streams all the time?
Who is Kate Bush?
She was a female artist from the 80s. She was popular back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And now she's hot again because they used her song in the episode of Stranger Things.
Oh, wow. What was the song?
Running Up That Hill, I think is the name of it. Yeah. And it's everywhere now. Just like, what's another one that came back recently? Return of the Mac came back with Doritos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Return of the Snacks.
There was a song I heard the other day. I can't remember that came back. I was like,
hey, here's another one. He retired. He retired from music because he went to jail. You know what I mean? But then you come out and guess what you got? You got a hit. You've been a one-hit wonder. So, Mark Morrison. And now you see him in a Doritos commercial. So here it is all these years later. He done been to jail and a chance to get back on your feet. You never know when you're gonna get a big payday when you got a hit single. That's what I need in retirement right there. I need to just start making songs for nothing.
So they truly blackballing R. Kelly then, right?
Oh, R. Kelly's done.
Because
I don't even play his stuff at wedding receptions and stuff like that no more. Like it was like the last.
Should be retired.
Oh man, you can't help but be retired in jail. Unless your name is Vibes Cartel.
What? Like what?
Where they locked this dude up in the studio?
Man, right?
Yeah, your prison is Studio B.
Right.
Thank you, Judge.
I forgot he was locked up.
Right, you keep putting a song out every week,
man.
But R. Kelly, nah, man, you're not gonna hear anything else out of R. Kelly. But that dude's an idiot, man. Just like OJ.
He should be retired.
Get out of it, you know what I'm saying? Get out of something horrible by the skin of your teeth, and then have the nerve to get in some more trouble. What a jackass. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he got 30 years right now, you know what that means? That means he beat 30 years the first time. So he got, if I get away with for doing anything that has 30 years in jail as a consequence, I would never do it again. I swear to God. I'm done with whatever that was. Lord, you showed me favor. And you let me out of this hostile situation where I could have spent 30 years in jail. I will never, ever kill my ex-wife again. I won't hold nobody hostage in a hotel room.
Nothing.
Ask for my stuff. I won't pick no girl up in front of McDonald's outside of my court date when I'm getting off from the last one. He picked one of them girls up while he was going to trial for the other girl they peed on. Like, yo, man, like, honestly, there's you don't have any choice but to put him in jail. This dude was picking up girls at the trial.
Yeah,
he's retired. You got to retire that guy. Like, you know how crazy that is.
I mean, you're right.
You see what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. But I miss R. Kelly music, man.
Like, that's like let's say you're a serial drunk driver. And it's like you go to your court date, and then when you get out, you get drunk on your way to the car. That's what it is. He picking up girls on his way leaving the courthouse, picking up underage girls. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's worse than what OJ did. I mean, OJ did something, got away with it, but he didn't go to jail for doing the same thing he got away with. Like, it'd be like it'd be like if OJ killed his ex-wife again. Again,
right.
He did that, and he went to jail for something else later.
He said
R. Kelly went to jail for the same thing that he got away with. And now 30 years. Like, you got to get this dude 30 years because it's just proven that he ain't learned nothing. And if he got out of jail, if you let him out tonight,
somebody
he'll be having sex with a 12-year-old tomorrow.
Yeah, because somebody will drop their kid off to him for him to make them a star.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
So don't just start with R. Kelly.
Hey, sometimes you got to get retired.
Look how
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
See what's going on over there.
And that's the thing. Like, hip hop, we don't retire a whole lot of people.
I mean,
like, not for discretions. Like, who's done something? Ain't nobody done nothing bad enough to get retired early. You know what I'm saying?
Except commit murder and end up in prison or get convicted of RICO.
Nah. So is Young Thug retired? Him and Gunna? If they don't get out of jail, they done. They retired.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they have to serve the full sentence, by the time they get out, ain't nobody gonna want to see an old man in a dress with fingernail polish on, holding no purse, rapping. It's over for Young Thug.
Well, like you said earlier, you gotta. I think
got a nice catalog though.
That's what I was about to say. I think Young Thug has a very diverse catalog that will withstand the test of time. But you gotta think about who his listener is or was.
Are they still gonna be in a place where they're gonna support that in 10, 15, 20 years. Like,
are you going 10 years from now? Are you going to look for a Young Thug album or a track?
hey, like I said,
which track?
Hey, and when you start performing later in life, man, I'm trying to tell you, when you get older, all you rappers, you're not gonna be able to show up at no adult venue. One day you're gonna be performing for adults and families. Same music you have now. You're not gonna keep on showing up doing the dirty versions and all that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta cultivate some stuff that you can use. Like Nicki Minaj, she gonna go out and do super bass. She's not gonna do truffle butter. 30 years from now at the state fair, well, she could probably still do truffle butter. But I'm just saying, she's not gonna do her worst.
Right.
The raunchiest stuff. She's going to do the stuff, starships.
I don't know, because I think Lil' Kim still do the same stuff if she get booked for a show.
Right, but Lil' Kim also ain't everywhere.
No.
Lil' Kim has enough catalog where she can get through a show without being too off-put with raunchiness, because she's had enough radio hits, and she's performed enough radio friendly verses and television shows and stuff like that, which I'm not worried about Lil' Kim being able to go somewhere and continue, because she's already been there. You know what I'm saying? She's already performed for, like,
she's retired,
and she's from the era of hip hop where hip hop was first being presented to the masses. She knows how to clean it up.
Is she retired?
Lil' Kim? Yeah.
Because she's been away from music so long.
Yeah. She's retired, and if she comes out and makes something else, she's just in a semi-retired state. But her living's going to have to be from something else now.
Absolutely.
She's not gonna make a living from new music no more.
No. She tried that. It
so
really
she's
work.
Retired.
Yeah. Damn.
Like I said, hopefully she got enough legacy where she can, she can make it. She's got to be modest at a certain point. You got to be modest. You ain't getting it like you used to get it.
Right.
That's fine. You set yourself up right, though. You don't have to look like you fell all the way off. You know what I mean? That's the important part.
Right. I think a level of being able to retire is diversifying yourself. And what I mean by that is, like you said, you can retire at this point, or you can retire at this point. It's really up to the individual and what they looking to do. And retiring from rap is our conversation. I think it takes a special person to be able to retire from rap, because, and especially like you mentioned earlier about a few minutes ago about the younger guys. It's so many of them. It's certain music that I know I can hear now, and I'm like, this song is not gonna last forever.
Right.
And not being able to last forever. If you can get a one-hit wonder that still don't last forever.
Yeah, it's a microwave society now. They don't pay attention to nothing at all.
That's the part right there, you know what I'm saying? And like, to be able to retire with that part of it, straight off the music, like, I think that's something that's crazy. But like we said, we mentioned some people who did retire from music and grew in other ways. But it's a lot of people that without that show money, that coming back, performing that song over and over every time somebody need them, they going to perform that song because that's it. That's all they got. You know what I mean?
Right. Don't be mad at it.
Yeah, like, for whatever reason, because I do think at some point, it's all about what you chose to do with whatever you got from whatever you were doing.
Yeah,
and you can have what's your boy name? Trinidad James. Mm-hmm. All gold, everything.
Right.
For like for a little bit, if he won't, as I guess, I look at somebody like him as he was a he networked, or the label worked for him to make him something.
Well, no, didn't he kind of do that song on his own though?
He did the song on his own, but he still had producers who did that song with him. But he did the song on his own. But outside of that song, like what other song did he have?
There was I don't even think the label did anything. Like I don't think the label did anything for Trinidad James.
They put him in. They put him on the roster
to get a piece of all gold everything. All they did was give him some money so they could get a little bit of the money. I think they knew when they signed him that he didn't have anything else to offer.
But
so
he did because enough. He was on. He wrote a song with Bruno Mars, one of Bruno's biggest songs, and he did another song.
You talking about that? Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. He didn't write that with Bruno. Bruno Mars wrote that song, and then he had to give him writing credit because he went back saying, "Well, that was me that said, don't believe me, just watch."
Okay, how it happened?
And I'm like, come on, man.
Did it happen?
But so he ain't sit down with Bruno Mars and write nothing.
Well, he was in the studio with Bruno at some time because Bruno gave him a compliment. So at some point they were in the studio together. I don't know if it was for that one but they were in the studio together. He got writing credits on that song, and he had another one with Jeremiah that was on.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of those lists. That's what I was gonna say. The record label put him on the list.
Yeah, that's what got him those features and all that.
Right.
But yeah, everything after All Gold, everything was manufactured. He didn't have anything to offer. I thought Lil Nas X was gonna be that too, but it's turning out that I think they figured out a way to market him. They let him go full. They let him go full gay, and then they market him just as what he is. Because when he first came out, they weren't marketing him as this gay guy. It was just the dude that did Old Town Road.
Absolutely.
And now
he didn't tell nobody that
you don't even
gay,
like
said.
When you when I think of him now, honestly, I don't even think about Old Town Road no more.
Right.
And I kind of really don't even hardly think about him being gay no more because he has enough songs out now that they're it's like it's always something else. I'm starting to not think of him as just a gimmick anymore. He's just an artist he's just part of the artists, the group of artists that are out now instead of a gimmick.
That's what his complaint is. Then that makes sense as to because I don't pay attention. I don't listen to his music. If it comes on the radio, okay, but I haven't heard his song on the radio in a minute. Right. Like you said, he's becoming normal now.
He's just a normal artist, and the kind of music he's making. Like, of course, you got the joint with Jack Harlow, Industry Baby. Oh,
right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the one for us. But the rest of the music is kind of like I say that he kind of feels a lane similar to Lizzo. He got some stuff that we'll probably jam out to. We got some stuff that probably kill a white wedding reception too. You know what I mean? And
it's just different money though.
Yeah, it's different money. Like but
that's the advantage.
I thought he would be over with after Old Town Road, and I thought that coming out the closet.
So you thought he was a rapper?
Huh?
You thought he was a rapper
when he came out?
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was, but I thought Old Town Road would be the last I heard of him.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whatever was going on here, I thought it'd be over with when Old Town Road.
Yeah.
And then I remember when he came out with the second song, I was like, it's all right, but I didn't hear anything in it that made me feel like he had any more hit potential. And then, I think Industry Baby kind of, I was like, let me see what's going to happen. Then he got a song, it's called I Need Someone to Love Me. But he keep right on putting out songs, and now I'm starting to realize, okay, he either found the right set of producers, which I think that's the case. When I listen to the first batch of music that he put out, it makes it feel like they say, you know what, I think we can do something with Lil Nas X. That's why dudes sit around, they look at the artists they have on their roster and say, we can get more out of this guy.
Right.
There's nobody, he's in a lane where there is no competition.
Right.
Don't let that slip away. Already got a one hit wonder that's gonna be last forever. Old Town Road is forever song. You know what I'm saying? I thought him coming out of the closet being over the top was gonna ruin the legacy of Old Town Road, but I think if he keeps right on making music, it'll come back around full circle. Old Town Road will be the staple for him again. But right now, it's such a family song that the shock value of his image now kind of keeps him away from Old Town Road. You don't even see.
But do you think he owned that?
Does he own the song? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. Like he probably owns a portion. Your girl Jossie, that wrote Lemonade, she wrote some of it, and Billy Ray Cyrus, wrote some. But Lil Nas X wrote there. I think it was him and Jossie originally. And
he probably sold that to the label.
Yeah. Speaking of Jossie, I want to talk about her one day, man. She's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ice, lemonade, niggas dripping. Ice. Like, she just be making just songs and dudes, people be buying her joints and, she's an awesome songwriter, but for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? In a way that a lot of, back in the day, we were coming up, people didn't want other people writing their stuff. And when they did get writers, they wouldn't admit to it. She's like a known writer, and she writes some dope hooks and hip-hop joints. So I like her. Him. I don't know what she refers to herself as. You know how people are nowadays.
Use the wrong pronoun.
Yeah. I'm just calling her what she looks like.
Oh,
she looks like a girl.
Oh, God.
I think she likes girls, though. I think it's pretty obvious. So, I figured it out. But They, yeah. And so yeah, they'll have a good retirement too. When you sit around writing music. Right. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got sidetracked at the end though. You talking about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the beginning. But that's just how it is. We're just happy to be back, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
What kind of concoction you got in the bottle, man?
It's done.
Yeah, I see.
I don't know, it was something. 2 different kinds, I just said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal, people. I hope you all have a wonderful retirement. Work smart, not hard. Save your money. Prepare for when this thing is over. You get $10,000 for a show tonight, and you don't have $10,000 to spend. Got it? Straight up. That's something that a lot of people don't know. You know what I mean? Especially if the dude that threw that concert, that paid you to show up, if he files taxes at the end of the year, guess what you owe on that $10,000? Taxes. Because he told the IRS that he gave you $10,000.
Absolutely. And
once he tells the IRS that he gave you $10,000, they're going to be looking for the portion of that money that you're supposed to give them. So, if you're out here doing it, man, take care of yourself because tax money, owing taxes, does not lead to a good retirement. Fat Joe might have to make 3 more daggone all the way ups.
He can't be this tax trouble.
You know what I'm saying? That tax
he just
trouble.
Bought $1 million watch.
That tax trouble is real, man. They look and buying $1 million watches. Lord have mercy. We're gonna have a whole show one day just about silly purchases. We're gonna talk about some of the things that rappers have bought and said they bought that we have seen them buy, and talk about how silly that is. Because none of these dudes that retire well, they're not sitting around wondering about how they're going to pay their taxes at the end of the year. It's getting late. We do this stuff at 4 o'clock in the morning so we don't bother regular people. Hey, on that note, we out of here. Avoid the pitfalls of retiring bad. Enjoy your retirement. This is Capital City Podcast. I'm your host, Capital J, alongside my main man,
DL Glass.
We out of here.
Make sure you check out all the episodes on overheretv.com. And we coming to YouTube soon.
Yup. As soon as I get a haircut.
Listen to the podcast anywhere you get podcasts. The Capital City Podcast.
This is Capital City with Capital J.